Thank you so much. Great, really great to be here. So that was actually a great introduction, not only to Fjord but also to the topic here. And so I run this business called Fjord, and what we do is that we come up with, invent new services and new products for our clients across all sectors, or we reimagine their existing products and services, and sometimes also their sort of company culture. So that's what we do. And what we do in addition to that is that we think about the future. So like you were just told, every year we ask our team a very simple question. The question is, what's actually going to matter for our clients that didn't matter yesterday? What's going to matter over the next year, year and a half? So it's kind of near-term trends. So we do these trends every year. This is our 11th year doing it. This is our set of 7 for 2018. And I'm going to touch on 2 of them. And the second one is very much the headline of this specific talk around the future of work. But also the first one is to DLD for digital. So the first trend here, we call it physical fights back. And the notion here is that digital has been a complete obsession, a real obsession for companies over the last 5 years, maybe even 10 years in some cases. You have chief digital officers, you have digital business units, you have obsession around digital channels, and so on. And what we're observing is that now digital is at that point of maturity and sophistication that actually it is integrated into everything, and the myopic focus on digital as something separate is going away. And into focus comes real-world experiences, people-to-people interactions, and interactions in real physical spaces, increasingly powered, though, by digital. So that's what this trend is all about. And if you think about what's happened in the last 10 years, since the smartphone came out about 10 years ago, what's happened is that smartphone started to eat all the things in your physical proximity. So first it ate your alarm clock, then it ate your physical maps, then it ate your radio, it ate your calendar and notebook and so on. So it started to gobble up all these things in your environment. Now, thanks to miniaturization and technology being cheaper and so on, the smartphone is now starting to sort of spit out targeted technologies back into the environment again. So you have things like speakers and microphones. You have things like, on the left-hand side, cameras, all of those connected to the cloud that start to inhabit our homes, but also places like what we just talked about was retail, so retail stores. Anyone here been to Amazon Go in Seattle? One person? 2? So I haven't been, but our team in Seattle went to check it out on the day that it opened and wrote a little article about it. And I thought it was a really fantastic headline for the experience of Amazon Go. The headline was, what's remarkable about Amazon Go is how unremarkable they make the remarkable feel. And what they meant by that is that it is actually a completely magical, technologically filled experience. And what you do is you walk in and you start taking things off the shelves, and then you just walk out. You don't stand in line to pay, you just walk out. And first, it kind of feels like you're shoplifting, like you're stealing. But once you've done it a couple of times, it becomes the new normal. Like, you don't necessarily expect to pay at the end of a cab ride anymore because of Uber. So this is the same for retail. It becomes the new normal. And it just felt almost dull. It felt almost non-special to that simple notion. And that's a good example of real-world experience is actually at the center, but technology is empowering it. On the right-hand side there, you have Cafe, which is by Alibaba in China, so also a very technically advanced environment, but it's also all about the sort of physical, real world. I have a bit of a glitch with the mic, I think, so I don't know if you... that a bit on and on. Yeah. So, thank you very much. One of our clients, Carnival Cruise Lines, they're thinking like this as well. So what they're doing is that they're enabling their guests with a simple technical token that is used for automating things on the cruise, but also over time starting to personalize the experience. So whether you wear it as a bracelet or you pop it in your pocket or whatever, this ocean medallion allows you to do things like pay for purchases, open the door to your cabin, and so on. So it starts to automate and simplify the journey. You don't need to remember to take the key, you don't need to remember to take your phone, you don't need to remember to take a credit card, and so on. So everything starts to flow. But then, because each person is unique, we can also start to then, as Carnival, understand your patterns and your behavior and so on, and then we can start to suggest things for you and personalize things for you. Again, a super technically advanced solution that ties together the business operations and technology, but all of that in service of experience. So you put the experience at the center and you celebrate experience with the help of technology. So all of these are really, for me, really interesting examples of how real-world experiences are coming into the foreground again, but increasingly powered by technology. And if you think about what's the lesson there, what's the takeaway for you, a couple of thoughts. The first one is stop viewing digital and physical as separate. Smash them together and think of them as one. And also, while you shouldn't lead with technology, you should lead with human experience and human impact. Because technology is now part of everything, allow that technology to inspire you. Technology is now cheap. You can get it, whether it's hardware or software or workforce and so on, you can get it cheaply and easily everywhere. So with that potential that technology has, allow that to inspire anything that you do. The second topic I wanted to touch on is what we call a machine search for meaning. So what is the meaning of the machine in the workplace? In the workplace, how do humans and machines interact? There's been a lot of speculation and talk about machines now. They used to take our muscle jobs, and now they're going to take all our brain jobs as well. So there's going to be no jobs left in the world, and that's a sort of dystopian future. But what's interesting from our perspective, and remember, Fjord, we're 1,000 people, but we live within a 430,000 organization called Accenture. It would be a bit of a problem for us if there was no jobs, if you couldn't sell hours to clients. So it's in our interest as well to make sure that there's some jobs left to do for humans as well. And we do believe that there's a very strong role for humans, but that role will be changing. If you look at artificial intelligence, so this is an interesting example from Harvard Medical School. You look at artificial intelligence and breast cancer detection. Artificial intelligence already has a 92% success rate with successfully diagnosing cancer. 96% is what the highly trained physician has. So the physician, the human, is still a little bit ahead, but maybe not that long. What's interesting, though, is that when you smash those two together and you ask them to work together, you get to almost 100% accuracy, which, of course, is what you would want. So you can take that and you can apply it to almost any field, and you can see that when human works with machine, you actually get better outcomes. And we publicized for years how initially the best chess players, then the best Go players were outmaneuvered by machines. But when you have machines working with humans as teams, you always actually beat both human and machine. So other examples of that might be, here in this case of BMW, they actually tackle a slightly different problem, related but slightly different problem, which is when you're in a self-driving car, you don't necessarily know why certain maneuvers happen and why there might be a move to the side and so on. So they actually spend a fair amount of time trying to educate the passenger about why certain things happened in the car. In YouTube, they're using machine intelligence and humans, and especially people's ratings and so on, to filter out inappropriate content. Another example of humans and machines working together to make sure that there's more appropriate content around. And when you think about the types of jobs that will be created in an AI-led or an AI-centric future workplace, there's actually going to be a few different things that humans are needed for as well. So someone needs to teach the machines a certain number of things, and also need to think hard about things like designing ethics into the algorithms, into the decision making, into the recommendations, and so on. And there's a very human thing which is called communication. And it is actually very refined. And all of you who, I think quite a few of you said that you have Alexa devices, or all of you who talk to machines, whether it's Alexa or Siri or whoever, you know that it's not always perfect. And humans have a very refined way of communicating. So teaching humans to better understand machines and for machines to better communicate with humans will also be a really important job. So then what does that mean? What are the lessons for us? Two things to suggest. Again, a little bit like the previous trend around digital and physical, think about combining AI with humans. Allow AI to do what machines are really excellent at doing, and they really are much better than humans at many, many different things. But humans are also very good at things that machines are not yet good at. And if you allow them both to excel at what they're good at and you combine them successfully, you get amazing, amazing outcomes. And a second thing to think about is that design for interaction. If your coworker of the future is a machine, then how can you make sure that your relationship with that machine is fluid and that you both understand each other in a workplace where some colleagues of ours are humans and some colleagues of ours are essentially software. So those were the two things I wanted to bring to you. I hope you found it interesting, and feel free to check out the trends. You can easily find it by Googling just Fjord Trends 2018, and you get a beautiful microsite, and you can share that with whoever you want. Okay? Thank you so much.